Okay guys, so I wanted to show you one more little clip to demonstrate what I want you to do with the chart that you've made and the document that you have available on your computer or that you can look at in your book. So if you look at this first page, both of these pages are about Jeffrey. And at the bottom of this one, it's page 15. The bottom of this one, it says page 117. So these two pages do not go together. They're two separate pages. So you should be able to find some evidence on each of these pages to fill in one of these boxes up here. So, erase this. Sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at this page over here and think about, are we finding out any of his character traits, like what he is like most of the time, any of his strengths, any of his weaknesses or conflicts that he has within himself, or lessons that he learned. And this page right here is on page 15, so that's pretty early in the book, so I'm thinking I'm probably not going to find any lessons that he's learned this early in the book, but we'll see. Okay, the kids in my class are all right. I have to deal with Alexia again, plus her feather boas and leopard skin clothes and her stupid purse. I, I wonder what kind of makeup she puts on this year. She's so dumb. She thinks she's a Hollywood star or something. Then there's Luke. I don't mind him. He's just smart and serious about school. And Danielle's in my class. She's fat. And then there's Peter, a wise guy, a total smart aleck. I wanted to tell Tara that Peter spent most of his time in the bathroom because he was messing around. But Tara figured it out. Even if he was new, he seemed smart. I just don't want him trying to figure me out. I'm no good at school. School sucks. Okay, so first of all, I don't necessarily care for the language that this character is using, but there are people in the world who talk that way. And so even if we don't approve of it, you're probably going to run into someone maybe that talks like that or has some of those same feelings sometime in your life. And you're going to have to know how to deal with it. So, just because it says this does not mean that I condone that or that I want you to talk that way or to call people names. But let's think for a moment about what we just learned about Jeffrey. One of the things that I'm thinking is that he sort of tells us one of his weaknesses, or at least one of the weaknesses he thinks about himself. He says, I don't want him trying to figure me out. I'm no good at school. School sucks. So one thing about him is that he thinks he's no good at school. And he probably is better than he thinks, but that's what he thinks about himself. Okay, let's think about if there's anything else on here that tells us about him. Well, one thing that I'm noticing, maybe under character traits, is that he sort of feels like he knows everything about everybody. Like he kind of stereotypes people, maybe, and he says, "There's Luke. I don't mind him. He's just a smart and serious. He's just smart and serious at school." Then Danielle, she's in my class. She's fat. I mean, he's just sort of like putting a label on all of these people, and it's like he doesn't really get to know them. He just knows one thing about them, and he feels like he really understands them, but I don't think he does. And down here he says, I don't want Tara, the teacher, to try to figure me out. So, what is a character trait that we could say about him based on the fact that he sort of labels people? Um, let's think about that for a minute. Could we say that he is wise? I usually think of wise as being someone who's kind of intelligent and smart. I don't really get that from him. He seems like he's just sort of impulsively saying things. Oh, that's a good word. What if I say he's impulsive? That means he does things without thinking, or he's reactive, like he just says or does whatever he wants. So that might be a character trait that we could say about him. Okay, so you're not going to fill all of these boxes with one page. So now you're going to read this other side of the page about Jeffrey and see what you can find out about his, like another character trait or a strength that he has that you find out about on this page, or maybe a lesson that he learns. And then you're just going to continue doing that through the pages. This is going to be an assignment that's going to take you a while. So if I were you, I would work on it for 30 minutes or so, and then maybe take a break from this and work on your toe story some more from yesterday. And if you are working on your toe story again, I would try to, once you finish it, try to read back through it through the lens of one thing. Like maybe the first time you read through it and you find all the proper nouns that are not capitalized that you need to fix, excuse me. And then maybe you read it one more time and look for places that you need to add punctuation. Like I noticed a lot of the ones that I looked at had dialogue, but they didn't have quotation marks in the dialogue, so it made it very difficult to read. So maybe you read the story one whole time and just add the dialogue. Those are some things that you can work on today, and we will, if you don't finish this today, you will have some time to do it Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday when you're doing your iReady testing. So work on it for 30 or 40 minutes and then go back to it. Another thing that you could do is get 2 or 3 of your classmates or friends together and see if they want to do like a Google Hangout or meet up. You can share on email or do something in the group chat and try to get together that way to work on it with a friend. Okay, have a good day and good luck.